It's still 1-0. I'm just tracking on the live.
Oh yeah, it's still 1-0, but then it's gonna change very soon. It's gonna be a 1-1. It's gonna be a 2-1 Villa lah.
Yeah
So
lah.
anyway, panelists, like how we discussed later, all right? On the count of 3, we are all going to sing the United song, okay? Glory, glory, Man United, okay? 1,
Oh my
2.
God.
Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan, Malaysia. If you're new to our channel, please smash the like button, comment away. Most importantly, hit subscribe and turn on
Ding
the bell.
dong.
Wow, that was fast, dog. That was extra fast today. You need to impress the rivals lah today, lah. Okay, so you'll be notified when we go live or when we release a new video. Right, guys, tonight, right, it's a special episode. Okay, we are very happy, right, to have...
Dom, I told you this is not the right timing for this, Dom, this episode. We should have done it when, we won some games or something. Told you, don't do it, Dom. You know why I came dressed in this jersey or not? Because by the end of the night, I feel I'm going to be like a zebra crossing. Everybody would have stepped over me and gone.
No, the right time to do this, right, it's probably back in 2013. That time we don't have StreamYard or anything like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is best for us to practice our resilience. Like the monks, when they meditate underneath the waterfall, sleep in a bed of nails and whatnot. Okay, today be brave, dog. Be brave. I will be Ronaldo and you can be Dean Henderson. Okay, be brave. Be brave.
No.
Okay, well, tonight we are happy to have our fellow football fanatics, okay, from Malaysia, all right? Although unfortunately, they are all supporting the wrong teams, okay, I would say. Okay, so please give a round of applause to Dr. Ramland from Malaysia Spurs. All right, Mr. Anand from Arsenal Malaysia, and Dave B from Footy Talk Malaysia. All right, and also, right, we have another guest here, all right, all right, this is not Ole, all right, this is oily, all right, oily. We try to actually get a City fan, but unfortunately there are none. We really searched high and low, everyone. We even wanted to get someone to just wear a City jersey. Nobody wanted to do it. All right.
So maybe, Dom, maybe you can actually just get everybody to go through a brief intro for everybody to get familiarized with all our extra panelists today from the other clubs. Maybe we can start with, I hate to say it, with our rivals, Liverpool. Dave, maybe you can go first.
But Dave, keep it short. No 30 years. You're struggling for 30 years. That kind of story we don't understand.
No. I probably will keep it to 30 seconds. I'm part of Footy Talk MY and also Cock Talk MY. I think you guys can go and search on the YouTube. And also, I'm actually a club coordinator for MISC MIFA. I'm working as a club coordinator, and also and I'm very happy to be here. Actually, looking forward to know what is going to go on with the questions and stuff. Okay. So maybe we follow the table Dom. We go with the Arsenal fan, Mr. Anand. No fighting, Anand and Dr. Ramland. Take it easy.
No. Dr. Ramland want to go first.
Are you two actually fighting for the table? I think the three of you are fighting.
Hey, please, Fred, please. Your turn done already. You said 30 seconds. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, all right. We go with Mr. Anand.
Right. Basically, I'm Anand and I'm a hardcore Arsenal supporter for past 45 years at least. And I started the Arsenal Supporters Club in 2000, the year 22 years ago. And still actively supporting the club, of course, but I stay in Taiping, so I'm not able to join games. Of course, past 2 years, who can join any game for a gathering? Yeah. So basically, I'm happy to be here just to share some things. Thank you.
Okay, we move on to Dr. Ramland. You've been on the show before, but for those who haven't seen our episodes before, maybe you can introduce yourself briefly.
Sure. Thanks for having me again. And I've been following Spurs since I was in Form 2, 14 years old. That was 74, a long time ago. And but I've been a hardcore fan since 1981. the Adiles Hoddle days, that replay. This is Manchester City FA Cup replay in 1981. Really cemented, my passion for Tottenham Hotspur. And throughout the years, of course, there's been a lot of ups and downs, and none as glorious as the rest of you here, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. But there are certain reasons why we have a passion for a certain club. All right, something which is totally missing from Manchester City, I see. But but you might unearth somebody who actually fancies and supports Manchester City one of these days. I have an old friend who actually supports West Ham. Actually, two of them. Another supports Newcastle, and another one actually supports Manchester City, but he wouldn't come on air for anything. Okay, so there you go. So glad to be here. Thanks.
Doctor, my second team is West Ham.
There's no
Sorry?
second. There's only one love. There's no second or third. Like, hey, come on, lah. Oh my God, it's like.
Boleh lah.
Oh
I just
man.
admire.
This one like pass lah. Want to be Muafakat and Barisan.
No. If you ask me about my second team, it was is the national hockey team of Malaysia.
Oh,
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's fair enough. Okay, let's get into the football matters, the football talk lah. All right, this one I think it's a tricky situation for us lah. Doc, who as in Doc De Gea, right? Who do you think is less intimidating? We got 30 years without winning anything, and then now suddenly hoo-ha. We got one, the invincible, recently only appear in the top 4. Okay, and then we got one with the how to say, the trophyless dusty the dusty trophyless cabinet. So
won the league in black and white.
Okay, maybe let's start with Dave first, lah. Right, since you're at the top of the table, so to speak, lah. Okay, among us all, you're at the top of the table, lah. Okay, so
not top lah, they're second lah. Come on.
I mean, among us, lah. All right, oily not counted, lah. Okay, oily not counted, lah. All right, so Dave,
Oily be upset when you all are leaving out of this conversation.
okay, so Dave, with your current situation, you guys are battling for obviously the title, the Premier League title with Man City. I think you got a 1 point gap difference right now. So how confident are you this stage of the game? I think we are like 10 or 9 games away from the end of the
games away.
9 games. How confident are you?
If we look back at the Premier League season in the past, this wasn't the case about Man City and Liverpool. We always see something like Manchester United and Chelsea and Spurs, or even Liverpool in the top 4. So Man City coming to the scene late into 2008, and they have been dominating the league with the money, like what you showed earlier. The money that they have and the strength they have and stuff. But these two teams, Man City and Liverpool, has actually set the ceiling very high, the very high standard in that where no one else could touch at the moment. It's like literally untouchable. Given it even with Roman's money for Chelsea, or even Arsenal or Spurs, or even the upcoming West Ham, who are actually like a surprise kind of team. This is going to be neck to neck. This is going to be neck to neck again. Anyone slips up in the next 9 games, they are the clear winner. Anyone slips up, the next team, or even it's going to be Man City slip up, or even it's going to be Liverpool slip up. Either of them slip up, the other one will go on and win the title. It's critical right now, where there is no way for any of these two to drop points at any games. It's literally like not an individual game. For me, it seems like both of them have they are mathematician, scientists, or whoever it is, that they need that 27 points somehow or other. So anyone could go there, but both of them are actually meeting up each other in April. So that is the crucial match, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a boring game. It's going to be a boring game. Both of them going to be very cautious of not losing points, but one of them going to punish one another. So we don't know who. And with all this excitement, I'm still happy that we are just behind them because they have the edge with the money, the power of the buying power that they have, and without money and without whatever oil money they have, they are nothing actually, Man City. So we have came from the scratch. The manager that we have, he started everything from the scratch with the shit money that he's been given, and I think he has done a wonderful job right now. But I'm not saying that I'm not confident, but we, as a football fan, I'll just let it go how it's going to end in May. But if we win, it's a bonus. If we don't, then it's an achievement. It's a long term stuff. Um, for us, we have been shown that there is a long term project that actually Klopp wants to do with this, and he wants that legacy to continue with the next successor and stuff. So I'm very happy with what is happening right now, even though we are second or third or fourth. But there is something, a result that we don't see for many years. So it's a really good time right now. But not having the title or whatever, it's a second thing. So as a football, I
Dave,
mean,
you guys always complain about no money, but didn't you go out and spend 75 million on a defender that changed your fortunes? And I think the most expensive goalkeeper as
we
well.
spent
And,
we
and
spent
he actually costed. I mean, last season, almost his injury actually cost you guys to actually miss the Champions League, and then Alisson saved the
but
day.
we
Blah
have to
blah.
sell a player to get a player. We saw one guy to buy three players, so that is actually a good business. That is how a club does a business. So for us, it's not an issue. We lost a player. We told him that you can be a what I call a legend in the club, but you don't want to stay. But we made three players now, right now, a legend, and that 75 million comes from one player sale. So it's not that Liverpool don't have money. We sell to buy. So
You're talking about what? Coutinho, is it?
Yep, exactly.
I think Anand is looking over his shoulder at whether Coutinho is
Yeah,
going to pull
man,
out
he's
magic.
nervous. Okay.
I'm just watching the game lah.
Another 9 minutes.
I think for those of us who's not watching at the moment, how is Arsenal playing at this moment? And are you confident regarding the top 4 race? Do you think that finally you guys can actually play in Europe? Not talking about Europa. Europa is nothing. We don't want Europa. As in Champions League. Do you think you can make it to the Champions League, Mr. Anand?
Are you asking me? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I do believe, I mean, the team, the way they played against Liverpool, nothing to be ashamed about. I think the Liverpool fan will agree as well. That first half, we just like control so much. It's just the finishing at the end of the day where these two amazing goals by Diaz, was it Diaz or Jota?
Jota.
And Firmino, of course. So, and Alisson saved, so before the first goal. But I feel confident because they're playing consistently well. They came up against a good, very, very good team in Liverpool, and the tactic and strategy that Liverpool employed, the defense was superb. Nothing could get through. So, well, God willing, they'll win tonight, and then it'll be back on track on the remaining games to be able to take on what do you call it, to be back in the Champions League after about 4 or 5 years, I think. Yeah, so I am confident of that very much.
I say, Mr. Anand, I think you shouldn't mention this bad word on air. Finishing is not the right word to speak in front of United fans now. We are missing clear-cut chances at drawing games. But okay, I will let you use the swear word this time around. But so, what do you actually think, Mr. Anand? At the beginning of the season, Arsenal was something like United, where all the fans were getting on Arteta's back, right?
Yeah.
I think even he was booed more loudly than Ole. So,
yeah.
What do you think? And were you one of those who were trusting the process, as they say?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's 38 games I'm thinking the old time 42, but anyway, 38 games, and actually, well, who knew? After losing 3 games, to just be right at the top here with 9 games to go. So it's if you've been an Arsenal supporter long enough, you have to suffer before you get some enjoyment eventually. So we've always nicked it at the end of the season, getting into Champions League for all these years when Wenger was in charge. So after he left, no Champions League. I'm not surprised because of those over demanding and fussy fans who do not know what is good for the team. Which I think even United can probably feel the same way, that fans are just a burden sometimes. Too many like so-called fan talks on online and all that. Criticize and whack the players, whack the manager until the sponsors as well are taking notice, and then you see what happened. Wenger had to leave. So these kind of things don't bother me anymore. I feel the team. I'm confident. I've loved the team for so many years. They've never let me down. I always say that Wenger years, no matter how bad it was towards the end, were the best years of our life as an Arsenal supporter. And so why so now Arteta seems to have got a bit of magic after we had outsiders taking charge like Emery and all that for a while. But now I feel confident with Arteta that he's got the rhythm lah. And look at the way, even I mean, to be fair, he studied under Guardiola, to be okay. So he's got a bit of that. He's got that. I think he has the touch. He's got under his understanding of the flow. And look at the way they were passing the ball. Even today's match and the other day with Liverpool as well. Superb. Their fighting spirit is there. They never give up, and that is good. And most importantly, they're bloody young, the youngest team in the Premier League. Think about that. So hopefully next year.
We got a comment, a quick one by admin, right? Mr. Anand, do you think Arteta is the one to get Arsenal to their usual level, or Arteta is just the starting point like Ole? All right, Faisal, who is admin Gomba, is Ole in forever imprinted. I believe he's already tattooed on his body already, Ole Gunner in. So the question
yeah,
for you, Mr. Anand.
I do believe Arteta can be the one. Why not? They all have to start somewhere. Guardiola was given a chance up. Everyone had to start somewhere. So he's very possible. Look at Klopp. Klopp did did he ever win the Champions League with Dortmund? No, right? But you see, he's got the skill. So was he a failure? No. Eventually he went on to Liverpool and won, he did things. So the fact is Arteta can get to that level of Guardiola and Klopp and so I even Conte for that matter. So I have no doubt that Arteta is the guy to stay in the long term. End of the day, it's about trusting the manager to know how to build the team lah. And at this stage, he's got a very young team to develop and taken out people like Aubameyang who are like divas or whatever. And so I believe he has got the right touch and he will take the team to the next level. The next 2 seasons lah, give or take maybe a 3.
Okay, Dr. Ramland, I think the last... Oh, by the way, I got your thank you card, right? To thank us for helping Nuno getting sacked. The last time you were live. I got your thank you card. So anyway, Dr. Ramland, so what's the state of the club right now? Okay, having... again, by the way, do you think it's a brilliant move to actually snatch Conte from United? Okay, and having Conte in Spurs at the moment. Okay, do you think it's a good move? And then what's your feeling about Conte? Is he the one to actually bring you guys to, the Champions League and whatnot?
No, it's a bit unfortunate that you guys were sleeping at the wheel, and, because he was there for the taking, right? He was there for the taking. You hesitated, looked around, look at your neighbor, and there we go. Well, the way things are, I think it will take more than the 18 months of his contract, of his current contract anyway. If you look at Arsenal, how they're going about the business, it takes a lot of determination, patience, and resolve to turn things around, to have rebuilds and all that. The rebuild with Spurs, as you all well know, has been well overdue for the past 2 or 3 years anyway, and we had to cycle through all these managers. Sometimes you either go for a proven winner like Conte. We did with what's the other guy, Jose Mourinho, or you go with somebody like Arteta with what Arsenal have done. But the thing is, you need to have a plan. And every one of us as fans and supporters, we have to have our own bottle as well. You see? Because at the end of the day, we are helpless. We are just mere observers. We're looking from afar and see how things are panning out. But at the end of the day, it is as much a test of our quality as people in football, as much as it is for the club and the coach and the players as well. So I feel that as far as Spurs is concerned, we have a lot of parallels with other teams. And a lot of other teams are behind Manchester City and Liverpool, and maybe to a certain extent Chelsea. There are a whole host of teams like Aston Villa, Everton, ourselves, Arsenal, even though they must be favourites at this point. I think so. Okay, I have to declare. But the most important thing right now is that there are a whole host of teams chasing the top 2 or 3, and they are rebuilding. So this is a time for either the likes of the top two cement their superiority, because they have two starting 11s most of the time. They come in and they got two starting 11s, and anybody can come in. All right. So the others are playing catch up, and it's going to be an intriguing end to the season anyway, with what's happening at the top and what's happening for the fight for the fourth place. So we know who are the favorites anyway, and they're leading 1-0 at the moment, I think. So the most important thing is the fight should be there. I like to see Liverpool, with only 1 point falling behind the top guys. So I think this is something that adds to the excitement of this league. And of course, at the end of the day, favorites or not, I'm always hoping for that fourth place finish, so that we can finally be there and give a boost to our rebuilding.
Okay, a quick comment and question by Admin Gombak. Dr. Ramland, do you see Conte staying after 1.5 season?
Look, he's a powder keg, isn't he? Right? He looks like he's going to explode anytime. But I do believe he has a certain amount of pride. He's never been through this before, right? He's never taken any team season, all right, being so far behind and all that. So he's always coming with a full season, and then coming up with so much to look forward to. So I think he is looking at this as a different challenge, different to what he's seen before. And I think it would be a test of his own mettle to see how wide a spectrum of managerial skills does he have. So I think I am quietly confident that he will stay on. But of course, with Levy behind up there in the boardroom, you can never say I'm confident. You just say you're quietly optimistic. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, another bad word. Board is another thing you don't mention around United fans.
Dog, today you're too sensitive, dog. Come on, you're too sensitive, dog. You're too sensitive. Oh my god.
No, but actually, I mean, just to add on to that, Dr. Ramland, do you think that he has that kind of quality within the Spurs team to actually, keep him there for another 18 months or more, or beyond that? He's been a serial winner wherever he went. Now, would he have the patience to actually build a squad? And also, one more question, the second question, what do you think of Harry Kane? Would he stay? Would he leave? And how would that also affect the situation?
You mean like Liverpool? Let's do a Coutinho, and buy 3 other players. Yes, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you what's the song? When you use your mind instead of your heart, basically it looks logical, doesn't it? All right, it's not as if any player is indispensable to the club. The club has to roll on, whatever it is. But if you look at this situation, it's slightly different. If you are playing your role as Kane is doing right now, simply as a target man, as a number 9, all right, then I'm confident that he will go. But if you look at his game right now, he's transforming himself to some sort of quarterback come goal scorer, right? He's pinging those passes here and there. I think that in itself is something that brings another element of excitement and commitment and his presence in Spurs. Of course, it's always this issue of money, agents around you, and of course, how, another dirty word, how boards behave and all that. So the most important thing is that he has more to prove, all right, at Spurs than anywhere else. But there will come a time, I think, if beyond this season you can regard as a write-off, because basically he's not going to go. We're not going to win anything except pine for the 4th place. But definitely next season, if we don't have any semblance of structure, stability, and prospects, I think he might even leave in January 2023. Okay, never mind the summer of 2023. So there you go.
Okay, you got a comment by Brian Lee. I agree with this, and we should do a swap. Dr. Ramland, want to exchange your Harry with our Harry.
Which Harry is it?
The price, maybe we fans we will throw in another 20 mil for
we can.
Levy.
Like, we give you Harry wings,
No. Sorry. The wrong Harry.
You have to be specific. There's so many Harrys.
Yet we only have one Harry, the legend, in our club.
Well, legendary. You know, it's a marvel to see. You know, sometimes if you're a coach like you are, Dom, okay, you basically say this is the way to do it, or this is the way not to do it. All right. So there you go. I think it's always useful to look at performances of players, and I think he was quite the centre back when he was in Leicester, wasn't he? Right. That might have counted. No,
Probably
no.
had other people cowering him there as well.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing as people like to argue that he plays well when he's in England and whatnot. But you look at the people around him in England, maybe, and the goalkeeper, the England goalkeeper. So it's covering him very well and stuff. That's why probably he gets the fame and whatnot. But I don't know. I think literally everyone in the United the fan base and also probably rivals, they can actually see right through Harry Maguire right now.
I'm
He's
quite cross, you know. How can he be there and Dyer is not in the squad, right? If you look at what Dyer is doing, so I think his days are numbered in the England squad anyway, because in the remaining 9, 10, 11 matches, that's the standard that he's showing. He will not be selected for the World Cup. I don't think so.
Not by the looks of it now. I mean, Gareth Southgate came on and said he's like the best defender in England.
No.
No, end of the game, 1-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
I told you right, Dom. Wrong time for this show, lah.
Wrong timing, man. That's right. I think we'll end it. Oh my God. Gerrard is the bottler, man. Gerrard is a bottler, man. He's a bottler, or he will just sleep on the pitch. That is Gerrard for you. That is Gerrard for you.
Hey.
He did it on a purpose, I guess.
Okay, just another one.
I guess.
Another one by Brandley. Dr. Ramland, if you don't want to exchange Harry Kane, we wouldn't mind exchanging your fridge with ours.
I got one that doesn't work, so that might well.
Who is your boss
Don't mind,
now?
you'll be fine. At least
This
we
guy
can store
is
some drinks.
temporary
there or
only
something.
anyway. Ralph
My
Rangnick
God.
is only temporary anyway.
Ralph Rangnick temporary, I don't think so. I'm hoping that he will actually move on to a proper role. But right now, from what we are seeing, right, I mean what he's promised, he's been promised a consultancy role or whatnot, higher up position. But right now, what we are seeing, the fans, what we are seeing, he's not given the authority to do anything. Even some would actually agree and argue that even the starting 11, he's not given full power to choose who he wants to play. You know, when we are talking about Harry Maguire, we always joke about Harry Maguire and whatnot, but it's so clear, it's so obvious. There's something going on. Harry Maguire and of course Rashford, all right. This is what a United fan would actually tell you, in this case. Okay.
What's wrong with Rashford? I don't understand why so many are complaining about him.
Rashford, Doc, you wanna take this one? If not, I might just smash the table, Doc. I might just smash the table.
So, if we were to quote Coach Dom's famous words, Rashford is now running into walls. Every time he takes the ball to dribble, he's running into walls, straight into
He has
people.
so much potential. He has so much, he was like, really the England and all that. I thought he was, I always admired him since a few years ago. Wow.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, and I echo that as well. I think he's been one of our better performers over the last few years. We always look dangerous when he's on the ball. I don't know whether it's the injuries he's been carrying or whether it's the social media things that he's more interested in doing. We don't know, but I hope he gets back into form, focus on football, and get back into form.
Dog, like in England, especially English football, you always get these a few season wonder players. So probably I feel that Rashford is just like.
Are we talking about Michael Owen then?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Talking about Harry Kane.
But Harry Kane, I think it's a different.
English.
I think Harry Kane is a different story. Harry Kane, I think it's he wants to win something. I think that's why he's early on he's deep in the form and whatnot. He wants to go somewhere else.
If he wants to win something, he has to go somewhere else.
No,
definitely.
None of us would begrudge him that, after all the services he's done, even with Dele Alli, right? He went, and we were not sure about him going, despite the fact that he was on a downslide. With Eriksen as well, he had down tools for about 1.5 to 2 seasons. Can't even get the cross in or corner in. So there you go. I think for those who have served very well at Spurs, I think we would like to see them flourish, because at the end of the day, we love them as players, and we should want the best for them anyway.
True. Actually,
Yeah,
there's
Kane
one
should-
thing that sorry,
Kane should follow
Mr.
the Gareth Bale's path. He definitely should follow what Gareth Bale did.
Just
Yeah.
Mr. Anand, just now you were mentioning Rashford and whatnot. It hurts me to say this, that initially, when they were breaking through, I think Rashford and Saka, we would always compare these two players, and now I'm actually upset to actually see how much Saka has improved as a player. Okay, and Rashford is on a decline now. So this is one of the, every time when I watch Arsenal play and whatnot, this is one of the things that makes me even how to say, to get even more angrier. So now when they are talking about Rashford and whatnot, usually I will just like, how to say, I'll just cut it off and whatnot. And then there's another reason as well, because with Martial and whatnot, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm a Martial fan. I'm the biggest Martial fan. And then, fans.
The only Martial fan. Sorry.
No, that's not the only. Okay, we are the brave few who appreciate French talent, young French talent. Okay, young, but he's not so young anyway. So, but anyway, yeah, if Rashford was maybe a French player, whatnot, he would have been, I mean, early on, he would have been given the stick, like what Martial was actually receiving early on. And then in recent times only, yes, how to say, Rashford is getting all this kind of negativity and whatnot. Whereas players like, Pogba and Martial, early on from the whole fan base is attacking them because they are not English players, So that's why I have a bit of, grudge and whatnot over there. All right, so let's move on a bit more to more football talk. All right, Dave, I'm going to ask you this. Okay, Liverpool, Manchester United, one of the similarities is, of course, our owners, American owners and whatnot. Okay, so what do you think is the difference between these owners, the two owners? Okay, both also, I mean, you have the amount of, how to say, the money is there. Okay, and the way that you guys apparently build the squad, the team, the footballing thing is different altogether. So maybe you can share and give your opinion on that.
The thing is, we know how FSG operate the business structure and the financial structure of the club. And in the past, we had a lot of problems with the previous owners, like Gillette and Hickett's. We had a problem with David Moore and many other owners that we had in the past. But to compare both of them, it seems like United have a way of operating the business in terms of like commercial value and stuff. They don't. Glazers don't care. Glazers don't care that okay, we spend and we bring in the class of players into the squad, but it somehow rather it doesn't work with the managers that they have. It seems like every season the fans need the Sir Alex Ferguson in the picture. So it's been like almost 9 seasons right now. United actually struggling, and you can see in the past they never had all these issues, and we had a lot of issues buying players. And the pay, the weekly wages and stuff. But now it's like the Klopp has actually come out with a project. So they agree with that. They come in and they perform, and then they get rewarded. So all these are actually come into a place where the owners and work with the manager. How to get this club into the next level, and touching within the success distance and stuff. And if we look at both these owners in the past, there's a lot of difference how United gets probably any manager. It's not only Sir Alex Ferguson. Probably we could say Louis Van Gaal, even Ryan Giggs for a certain amount of time, even David Moyes, and then you had who else? You had Ole, even now Raf. I mean, Raf haven't bought anyone yet, but we are not very sure how Raf is going to get into the communication with the owners right now. But I feel that there's always a difference between these two teams. how they operate and how they buy players, how they sell, how they make money and bring in the funds and the stadium expansions and stuff like that. So there's a lot of difference between these two people. So hold on.
How
Okay,
they
okay.
purchase
We
the
got
VAR rights.
a
Sorry.
we got a comment by Danny. Difference is Liverpool owners didn't inherit a winning team, so they knew they had to plan. And then Glazers got cheat code with Sir Alex Ferguson, so they thought it was going to be easy every year. Okay, so maybe we'll move on to Mr. Anand. So, how much do you think the owners, right, the involvement of the owners, whether you get good owners and whatnot, will actually affect the performance of the team? How to say, winning trophies and whatnot.
Obviously, the owners matter. I mean, the more money they can pump in, it helps. Like Chelsea had proven, and even Manchester had proven. And the other side of it is whether they interfere or not. As far as I know, the financially, they are obviously getting a lot of benefits from the. I mean, I stopped buying original shirts and all that for a few years already. I stopped buying merchandise, but then I went to factory outlet and bought Adidas shirts for 1/3 the price, 30% only. So it was worth it. One whole season jersey lah. So it's worth it. But other than that, it's basically they are in it for the profit lah. These American owners, especially Kroenke family and all that. So it is irritating. But we have to accept it. At the end of the day, we support the team. This is why we just love the team and we ignore the owners. We just tahan lah, day in, day out, year in, year out, whatever it is. We just have to accept that's the reality of the commercialization of the Premier League. So if it's good, if the managers are maintained and they're given the chance, the fans also have to sort of be able to be patient, because that's how United did so well after almost sacking Ferguson in 1990, and how Arsenal also have maintained from the start and kept on, even being in the Champions League for 20 years. That when under Wenger, so it's because of the patience of owners at that time. Now it's a whether if the owners are like the fans, it's very hard. So the less they get involved with the team and just stay how do I put it? Just stay away from the
more for
actual
commercial.
just
decisions,
maintain
football
that and
decisions.
stay away from the football. Just stay away from the football. Just be there for a present, but support the put in the funds lah. No point being there and then not being able to. It's very frustrating to know. In January, like last season, I remember last year, January 2021. Oh, the Atita was saying we don't have the money for to buy new players. What the hell is that? That was not supposed to be the case, especially after when Wenger was chased out of the club because as though it was him was not wanting to buy. Ended up then people now know lah, it's the bloody owners. If they are the ones who are not giving the funds, allowing the funds to be released or what. The club had been making money. So I mean now COVID times and all the clubs have had $1 million losses. That's another issue. But in time to come, let's hope that the owners really commit themselves more than just standing, being, trying to reap the benefits from whatever other fringe commercialization of the club. Oh, by the way, Stan Kroenke's team in the US NFL won the Super Bowl, Los Angeles Rams. So that's the irony of it. So hopefully some luck will rub off from him after so many years winning the Super Bowl.
Buchanan won
transfer to EPL lah.
Buchanan won last season, and look what happened to United, right? Buchanan won, right, the last Super Bowl, right? So look what happened to us.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
I think managers now just don't get that kind of time. Now it's a results-based business. If you don't perform within a season or two,
Exactly.
you don't get that kind of time that some of the previous managers got. So, Dr. Ramland, I have a question for you. We have a lot of now speculation who would be the next United manager, right? And I think there's a couple of names in the hat. I think there's Erik ten Hag. There's also Mauricio Pochettino, who has been the manager for Spurs, right?
Yeah,
and do you think that he is capable of turning things around for United if he is the chosen one?
Doc, sorry, Doc, you wrong question. Take him back. Would you take him back?
No.
That's the other side of the coin, yeah. right?
Yeah, maybe take it back and pass Conte to us.
Yeah, that's why we should.
That would be a good deal, no? Wouldn't?
We'll do you the favor and take Conte off you.
I take the fridge of you as well, no? I mean, as well. If there's a line of decision making. No, the thing is with Pochettino is an emotional thing, you know. All right, an emotional thing because he's so much in love with Spurs and all that. I think somewhere down the line we need to see him elsewhere, win something elsewhere, to prove himself elsewhere before we'll say, yeah, you have upgraded yourself and now you're ready for the club's ambitions. You see, now with Conte, you know, just one eye closed, you know that he's the one that will bring you somewhere. Okay, it's just a matter of patience and looking at your specific circumstances and not just be dreaming about we should be in the top 4 and then we should be winning next season, so on and so forth. No, it doesn't work like that. But if the signs are there, if you look at the two recruits in January, Dejan Kulusevski and Bentancur, the exciting players. But you know, it takes time for them to blend and to adapt to the game and to the league. You see how well they have come in. I think it will take the rest of the season for them. So maybe it will be a bit of a burden for us to say that we need top 4 and blend all these people in. So it's always going to be next season. So if Pochettino were to be available, I think Manchester United should take him. All right, because that will work well for us. We'll see how well he does at Manchester United.
He brought you to the Champions League final.
Then we'll do the swap.
He brought you to
if
the
he comes to
Champions League
United,
final.
he's not going to go back to Spurs. You know, it's always a step down. You know, Dr. Ramland.
You got me. Okay. So at the end of the day, if you look at the other match when we played last weekend, yes, and we didn't actually feel very bad, you know, because we saw that even though we lost, Ronaldo scored, that wonderful hat trick and all that. You can't escape because the man is so great. But on another day, what we need to see is how close people are, because this is a situation of fine margins, and I think on another day we could well have taken Manchester United, but what we need to see is the performance. So with the remaining 10 matches, right? We need to see how well they master their performances, because at the end of the day, it's about all these fine margins working out, and even if we don't make top 4, we need to see good signs of promise. So when we add some more good players, affordable players, because you know how cheap Levy is, so at the end of the day, that is the key to the future. Never mind who the manager is, because we've had several managers. Sometimes the culture of the club. We were talking about finances right now, just now, right? About how you work through your way through rebuildings and all that. But the most important thing is that you can see the culture in Arsenal. You can see the culture in Liverpool, Manchester United. The culture is there, and it's very distinct the way you move about. But the moment you mire yourself and not feeling that you need to change, from time to time to transform yourself according to the current and what is going around you. That's the time when you become a bit of a dinosaur. All right, like I think, a bit of a dinosaur. So I like Klopp a lot, because I think he's always an entertaining listen. Every time he speaks, I like to hear him because he's always entertaining.
He's not available.
Yeah, but
he will be after 2024.
He's taking off. He's going on holidays.
But I don't understand.
The German national team is waiting for him.
But you tell me, Doc and Dom, what is it about Rangnick that you think is a good idea? I never thought it was a good idea to get somebody in as an interim.
Never a good idea.
Yeah, because you're not giving him a chance. You either give him a full season and you then indoctrinate somebody slowly, or you just throw somebody that you have faith in, right? Some faith in.
No, I think Doc and Dom understands that Ralph Rangnick here is to stabilize the situation, not the squad.
Yeah,
but am I right?
I think everybody was caught up by his elevator speech at the coaches' training. The training.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic elevator speech.
Actually, it's more
he
like, you know,
spoke
based
about
on
the
that.
dragon pressing and stuff like.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
it's more about that. And then it was, you know, this is the thing about United lah. You know, they give us false hope and whatnot. So our expectations of Ralph Rangnick or even whoever manager that came in, he will be the messiah, the next one to save United and whatnot. So we were actually expecting like, you know, free flowing rock and roll football, whatever you call it. We were expecting that, you know, but of course, to be realistic, like I think even Liverpool early on, for them to actually implement that style of play, I think it took like a number of years to actually get the players who can actually play under that kind of system, and of course the fitness level and whatnot.
You heard him, right, Dom? And Doc, I think you heard him. Like he mentioned that Bobby Firmino, Salah, and Mane wasn't a good pressing player.
Yes, correct.
They
correct.
were made to do that. They were
Yeah.
paid to do that, and that is what the manager wants. So he said they were trained to do that, and I think Ralph Rangnick needs another season to train everyone to do that collectively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's
yeah.
not going to get that opportunity. I think they
Yes,
have already
yes.
made
Maybe.
it clear that he was the interim. I think there's a lot of talk that, you know, he was brought in. He's not been coaching for some time. He's been having his position in upper management for some time already. So maybe he was brought in as interim, and there's a lot of talk about this, right? To basically forego this season, but understand what is happening within the club from the ground up, and then when he takes the consultation role with a new manager, he will know exactly what to do. That is the talk that's going around. But if you look at some of the ex-players, I mean, they've been scathing in their comments of Ralph Rangnick as he's not a player. But if you look at his post-match interviews, right, he's got it spot on. He reads the game perfectly well.
Yep.
So, but again, it's very difficult, you know, to teach people like Harry Maguire what to do, lah. Some people just can't do it, lah. You know.
You know, another thing just to add on, someone like Ralph Rangnick, okay, he has the experience in tactics and whatnot. You know, like the way, like Doc saying, like the way he comes out after a post match, he can actually analyze the whole game, whatnot. His eye for scouting talented players. You know, I think if I'm not mistaken, Mane also, Firmino, he actually scouted them, Timo Werner and stuff like that. All right, but of course, I think he's not prepared. You know, the issue with United, right? It goes from the top all the way to the bottom. So we are talking of the owners, like we mentioned just now. Okay, the manager, okay, maybe Ole before this, and also the players, the big egos in the dressing room. Okay, which brings me to the question which I want to ask Anand. One of the things that I really, really respect Arteta for doing is to remove Aubameyang from the team. Okay, I think he's the pencil and whatnot. Okay, but the difference between United and Arsenal probably is you have one prima donna, we have a bunch of prima donna, and then it's spreading. Okay, so I mean, how would you think this kind of ego players, all right, stubborn manja pots, whatever you call it, in a team would affect?
But Dom, he's performing at Barcelona.
Sorry, Dom.
Yeah.
Before that, let me just correct you. 10 prima donnas and 1 DDG.
But he's performing at Barcelona. So how do we actually call him a prima donna in Arsenal? I don't understand. Probably money. He wanted more money.
Nightlife, maybe.
Exactly. Maybe.
But I don't know. I think maybe like players like that, it goes like their mood, you know, whether they're feeling happy, you got to make them, you got to tempt them with whatever it is, you know, the fame or whatever it is, then only they will actually perform. You know, players like that, prima donnas, I think in general, they are toxic to all football teams. Okay, so maybe I'll ask Mr. Anand on this.
Yeah. If he was ready to go, his mind was not on Arsenal anymore. So once you're in that mode of thinking already, no point keeping him lah. So that's why the discipline issues started cropping up, coming late for the training and even for the match at one point. So no point keeping him, and Arteta put him in cold storage and rightfully sold him off. Barcelona have a good player in their team now, so good for them. But when you're going to cause more damage in your current team, it's better to get him out. That's the bottom line about what Dom said about toxic. Okay, so I mean, I really don't know about United players who are the prima. I mean, other than Ronaldo, the rest there could be prima donnas like, of course, Pogba. I can imagine all these players come with a heavy price tag. Definitely will have their agents and people, friends close behind them, prodding them, always telling them that you can do better than where you are now, and the whole sense of overconfidence and arrogance built into them. It's not by the players themselves, because Arsenal had that when Anelka was with us in that first 2 seasons in 1997-98. And then sure enough, his family's agents all got into the picture, and suddenly it was so difficult to keep him. So, and sure enough, he failed in Real Madrid. So the thing is, it's hard to pinpoint the players themselves because they are young boys, most of them, young youths, they're in their 20s and all that. So they are very influenced by people around them. So if the manager, at the end of the day, the manager is strong enough to do what he can do, what he needs to do, that like what Arteta did with Aubameyang, then then the things will be set right. The manager cannot control it. Unai Emery couldn't control things in Arsenal. That is why eventually it failed, because he failed in PSG as well, where when Neymar came in and all that. Same way he couldn't handle it in Arsenal. But if Ralph Rangnick is just interim, he may not think it's his role to even check these guys. To be fair, he may think I'm just here to jaga the house for a short while. I'm a babysitter. So why should I really get into the whole issue about who wants to play better, who wants to play where, and whether they think they're better than another player? Let them sort it out. He's got his job, right? Ralph Rangnick. So let the new manager come in. Sorry, I mean, going back to the fact that they need a very strong manager. I don't know whether Pochettino is one of the best managers I've seen at Spurs. I have to admit, but I don't know whether he can control United the same way that Tuchel or Conte could do it. Come on, Louis van Gaal also couldn't do it in United, let alone Mourinho. So you need someone that kind of balls to take these players and slap them, a few times. If you really ask me, lah.
Yes, agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so
we
we
can
got
see Poch also struggling at PSG, right? With all those big names. Yeah. So, let's see.
okay, we got a comment
But
by
again,
again,
that's another bad word, LVG, Louis van Gaal. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Some of the worst football we ever played was under
Oh
Louis
my
van
God.
Gaal.
So
He
many
took one
bad
shot
words
in
in
2
your
games.
dictionary.
I think before they
And-
came live, they actually planned to slit all these kind of comments in, just to get us, just to get us.
And he sold some of our better players as well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can see a lot of comments here, like really interesting.
Okay. By Gomba. So Arnold, Mr. Anand is saying that Cristiano Ronaldo is prima donna. Be prepared with your direct
Aiyo.
message. Will kena bamboo soon. I don't know. So maybe
Let it be lah.
we'll pass this to Dr. Ramland. So do you think that Ronaldo is a prima donna?
Of course he is. There's no
course
doubt
he
about
is.
it. But the thing is this: as much as you need to channel your aggression, you need to channel your pride and ego as well. All right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because you need to have somebody who plays with pride and ego, because they have
All
to
good
have pride.
strikers are like that. All good
Yeah,
strikers
they're
are
all
like
like that.
Yeah.
You cannot have somebody who's just touchy-feely,
timid and stuff. Yeah,
Yalah,
like Jota,
malu-malu. Tak boleh. Doesn't work.
Lacazette, no.
Tak boleh. So,
no.
but at the
Salah
end
is
of
an
the-
exception, though. Salah is an exception.
Okay. But the thing is, you look at how Rangnick dealt with Ronaldo when he was taken out, set him right beside him, right, and had a word with him, because that was a clear demonstration. Never mind what he said, because it's just between the two of them. But the most important thing was that he was seen not being afraid to have a few words with his prima donna.
Yeah.
All right,
Hmm.
he needs to show him, and publicly, right, in the public eye, who's boss. I'm here. I'm interim, yeah. But at the end of the day, there are things I need to do. There are things I cannot do, obviously, as an interim manager. But there are things I need to do, and it is now. And you need to go out, and I've taken you out, and this is the reason why. So that's why sometimes you might need something of that sort. This Germanic approach, like Klopp, what he's doing. You need somebody who's not starry-eyed with anybody. You cannot have the Pochettinos, because Pochettino is the arm around your shoulder type, right?
I thought
He's
Klopp
Yes.
was also like that, the hugging type.
yeah,
likes to
but
hug.
he hugs, but sometimes he will hug a bit harder.
around the neck,
So he will say what? He will say, I'm hugging you. Do you feel me? That's what he'll say. So there you go. The man management has been made so complex, so difficult nowadays, with all these people interfering, right? Agents, even with Harry Kane, his brother as an agent. How does that work? You see? So in the old days, it's just between you and the gaffer. You just sit down, the gaffer will need,
Correct.
or maybe you
Correct.
have somebody like Alex Ferguson kicking a shoe in your direction. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you know, of course. Yeah, there you go. So you need, whatever it is, you need to have the balls to do this, yes? Otherwise, everybody will be on top of your head. So it's horses for courses. But I must say, I'm sure all of you agree that man management is a very hard situation, and it would be good for managers who have a certain experience with difficult players to take some sport psychology, on the side to understand. And it doesn't really work. Whatever method that you do, it really doesn't work for everybody. In your dressing room. So Pochettino, if he were to go to Manchester United, he would fail because that dressing room is I think scarier than PSG.
Definitely.
Mm.
That's why actually
just
we actually right now, I mean, we had a discussion with the other panelists and whatnot. We wouldn't want Poch, definitely not Poch. Many would argue a Ten Hag and whatnot at the moment. Yeah.
Ten Hag, he made largely unknown, ostensibly to our eyes anyway, not to his learned eyes, average players turn into superstars, sell them
Yep.
off,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Ajax is what? Is a selling club.
Yeah.
But the
Yep.
fact that, so if you take him, right, you need to clear out all this deadwood, unused
Exactly.
fridges and all that. So then you just bring in,
Unused
you
fridges.
just bring in, sorry, not unused, useless.
Overused, broken,
Overused.
overused, useless, broken fridge. That's the way.
Okay, right.
That's the way.
Okay,
Preach on,
but
brother.
just bring in people from your academy. You got so many players and work on them, all right, and keep them like the way, because Alex Ferguson had this bunch of youngsters coming in '92, and that is the reason why another dirty word, Doc, the board allowed him to stay on because he had a plan and he had a project which of course
Correct.
took longer than anybody anticipated, but the signs were there, you see. But for us, it's now a buying situation. Now clubs are buying, likes of Manchester City and Chelsea. They buy success. All right. Now I get why you're saying oily and all that. Okay. So but I would say well greased, well greased. But the most important thing now is for us to really be mindful that the game has changed. So management is much harder, and the turnover will be very quick for a lot of people. That's why for Spurs, we would like to see Conte break his own recent history, the type of history that he's got recently, by just upping stakes whenever things are not going according to his plan. I think it is time now for him to prove that he can be more versatile. He can be more, more of more reliable, and clubs will have more confidence in him and says he can do that, and he can do that. All right. So I think that appeals to his desire and his ambition.
Yeah, I think you mentioned youth. Bring in the youth with Eric Ten Hag, but I think a lot of United fans there will be just waiting to agree with you. I know one in particular, or two
Really?
in particular, even from our JomUnited group, right? But I think it's always going to be a mix. It cannot be just your pure youth players. Now,
Yeah.
Ferguson got lucky with the class of '92, where you had 4 or 5 guys of really world class coming at the same time, right? Something that Barca had with the La Masia group with Xavi and Iniesta as well. They came up and they're world class. So it's always got to be a mix between the two. There must be some senior ones to bring that experience and also that lead. It can't be just the youth. But even if you look at class in '92, after that, how many of the youth players came but never made it, and all are playing? So it has to be a good balance. But again, the right manager would be key, I guess, and he should have a key hand.
Yeah, I think if you just work around Ronaldo, all right, work around Ronaldo. He's inspirational. He just stands there and everybody is inspired. Yes. So I think
no. I have to disagree for you. That was what we thought. That was what we thought when Ronaldo came in. If you look at our videos earlier, we were super excited. We were talking about Rashford, Rashford, the young ones, all putting the extrovert, but it's not the case. There's rumors, and these are like strong rumors that in the dressing room, a lot of issues going on between the Ronaldo cam and the English cam or whatever it is, and then you can actually see the body language on the field. There are fans at Old Trafford. They were reporting that in between moments whereby it's not captured on camera, things like Ronaldo will be going around encouraging people, high-fiving people and whatnot. Then there are players like Rashford and Maguire giving him the cold shoulder and whatnot. There are issues like that happening, which is baffling. To have like one of the greatest players ever in your team, and you're not drawn or inspired to be better than what you are. That's the issue with our club, United, at the moment. Actually,
I see. That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
That's why. So maybe like I mean, okay, if just say Ronaldo, right, were to go to like any of your clubs, like Spurs or okay, let me just ask Mr. Anand, if like Ronaldo were to go to Arsenal, would you take him or not?
I mean, not at this age lah, not at this time lah. Of course lah, no
Because
way.
now you're already in top 4 with points, with games in hand lah. Come on lah, Lacazette. You
Not
don't
at
need
this age
Lacazette,
lah.
man. Come on, man.
Hello,
Regardless of age.
United literally, I don't know what Ferguson did, decide and literally pulled the carpet from under Man City's, that they were supposed to get him, and then United just did a scoop on that last minute, right? Isn't it? So you got what you deserve lah, you know.
We were never going to let him join Man City lah. No matter what,
regardless of the form.
That is whose ego and pride. That's Ferguson's ego and pride, which now caused the downfall.
It's not so much about this one. I gotta defend Ronaldo on this. It's not about ego and pride because
Ole did not want Ronaldo. Let's face that. Ole did not want Ronaldo, but it was a side deal which came in because of Ferguson's interference. Admit it. I think you all are aware of the side dealings there lah.
Regardless, at that moment, right? I think every United fan, right, true United fan would have breakdown, would have gone crazy if he actually went to City. The amount of memories and whatnot, like him, if I can think back to 2008 or whatever it is, the Champions League game and whatnot, the first time he came into the team with his funky hairstyle, his ugly teeth and whatnot, and to now being a model-looking person and whatnot, those kind of memories all will be wiped away if he went to City. So it's not so much about the form, not so much about the age. It's to preserve our memories and whatnot. It's the same like when Percy came over to Manchester United. That kind of feeling.
Oh, he's out. He was completely out of the book already.
The difference is maybe Ronaldo had a bit of pride, integrity, not to go to the rival team and whatnot. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Money talks lah. End of the day, he got a very good deal to come to United. So why not?
The Dutch players are friendly.
It's like Henry Johnny.
That being said, whether he got money or not, he's still the top scorer of United. I think he scored more goals than all the other strikers put together. So
this season, you mean?
That, without him, Ronaldo. Without him, he might be somewhere hovering just above relegation.
I actually have a question. Probably this is not a controversial or banter or troll. What do you all think? I mean, probably Doc and Dom. DDG. What do you all think of Ronaldo missing for the Manchester derby, and that has actually caused your position right now, where you are 4 points behind Arsenal? Does that actually affect you? Why he wasn't there, and he was in the Manchester United Spurs game, and he won and he scored a hat-trick, but he was actually fit for that match. I don't think you all can deny the fact that he was fit. He wasn't in the squad for some reason, and he was not in England. He flew out and probably went for a Nivea, men's advertisement or stuff like that, and came back. And do you feel like he should have been there? He should have been there and won the game for you. And now you wouldn't be expecting, Anand celebrating Arsenal, all those stuff.
Okay, the two factors that cost us our top 4. Okay, number one, we did not sign a CDM. It's another bad word. We did not sign a CDM in January. And number two, we lost whoever it is. We had a lot of not Kamavinga. We had deals. We have Zakaria, who was like 6 million, 8 million, and whatnot. Those kind of deals. And then Kamara was actually offered to us, but then somehow we didn't sign the CDM. That's the first downfall. The second downfall is the games before leading into this month's game. The easy fixtures with the third tier, the second tier teams and whatnot. We lost so many points over the course of those 10 games and whatnot. So pretty much we could have, we would have been in the same situation as Arsenal. Like losing
Correct.
to Liverpool that day wouldn't
Yep.
have made a difference in their challenge for top
Correct.
4. You see? So
Correct.
that is actually the cause of it all. So whether he's fit, he's not fit, whether he went for a holiday, whether he went and have some spiritual enlightenment in Portugal or whatever it is, it actually did us good. It did us good. He came back, bang, 3 goals. We got everything. We got a world-class goal. We got a tap in, and we got a fantastic header. So it's all good and stuff like that. Maybe Doc, anything you want to add on?
Yeah,
Don't mention De Gea lah. Don't mention De Gea
let's
lah.
be fair lah. Okay, let's be fair. Even if Ronaldo had played against City that day, I don't think it would make much of a difference lah. It was pretty much men against
Do you
boys.
really think? I think he would
Yes.
have made a difference.
At one point, it was like, I think, to be very sad, looking at the possession, it was like 93 to 7. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
92 to
Wow.
8. 92 to 8. That was the last
92
15
to
minutes.
8.
yeah, the
They
last
were
15
just
minutes,
passing
right?
balls around us.
It was
Yeah.
horrible. I doubt he would have made a difference. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we'll never know. But looking at the overall performance, it was terrible. The second half was terrible. But yeah, well, like what Dom said, I echo that point. You know, we actually dropped a lot of points early on in Ralph Rangnick's reign. Right, a lot of points in terms. We didn't lose that many, but we drew too many against the bottom half teams, and that is that is always going to cost you in the end, lah.
Okay. But how about Doctor and what do you all think? If Ronaldo was there in the game against Man City, would he have made any changes? Would that be help them to the top 4 right now?
You know,
It's a derby. It's a derby, you know. So hard to say. Sorry, Doctor. But I just want to say that it's hard to say. But I think Man City were just too strong on the night, and so I really don't think it would have made a difference. Ronaldo was there or not.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah. Doctor.
well, no, I think it's always horses for courses. Yes, it all depends because Manchester City themselves, you know how they play. It's all a possession, 70, 80, 90% possession and all that. So the way you want to play them is how we play them. All right, and we didn't have the players to match them, but we did have the game to just get it right and get it home. So I think the most important thing at this point is that you yourselves have to be comfortable with your own approach to your game, okay? And you know they'll be like that all the time. You know what to expect with Manchester City. So it's just a matter of getting your game right. So whether it is with Ronaldo or without Ronaldo, you have to decide whether that is key to all of this. And I always think that a player of his stature and experience would always make a difference. You know, he would always make a difference. It's just a matter whether you want to roll the dice or not. You know, up to you.
Correct.
I still can't believe United City lost to the Spurs at home 3-2. I still can't believe that. It still boggles the mind.
Mr. Anand, that's an audition for Harry Kane lah. That's an audition for Harry Kane lah. That's why.
No wonder, now I get it.
Yeah,
now I get it.
future manager, what he can actually do is that's the thing.
No, actually, if you look at it, right, there's only one way to beat City, lah. You cannot play a game against them because they will murder you on possession. You have to be very strong defensively, and you need to, when you get the ball, you need to transition quickly. You just have to counter attack them at speed.
Yeah.
If you look at the team that beat them,
learn it from the Crystal Palace.
it's always Arsenal, Spurs, because Spurs as well, right? Their front three transition very fast, and now with Keane dropping down and spread the ball to people like Son and all that who are speedy. That's the only way to get at them. But again, you need to be defensively sound. You've got Harry Maguire, so end of story there.
Look, this is not the first time it's happened, right? It happened last season or the beginning of the season or something like that. And then, of course, Arsenal has tasted it before to see how Son and Kane would work together. I think it's whatever game you're bringing to the plate, you really need to get it spot on. And this thing about the defense, it cannot be one-on-one defense. You really have to surround them. And the most important thing is just have some bottle about it and believe in yourself. That's all. Yeah.
Or there's one more thing you can do. You can bring Ole back specifically for that game. It seems they have a good record against Guardiola.
Ole is the best manager for this type of game, derby and whatnot. A lot of passion, a lot of those kind of. Remember when 1999, the kind of stuff. That's the best.
He won 2 seasons in a row, right? He won 2 seasons in a row, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's the only manager to beat Pep 3 times. I think something like that.
Exactly.
At that time, right? That time United was actually going on a slump. That few games before leading into that game, fans were like, how to say. low in confidence and whatnot, and bang, the next thing you know, like boom, boom, boom. By the time you know the front line was firing, Martial was around, Rashford was firing as well and whatnot. Yeah, I forgot to point this out to Dr. Ramland. Maybe you want to pass a word to Son, right? The next time he's on the field, wear football boots, not ice skates. That was what happened when he was playing against you. He was slipping all the way, man. I thought it was Gerrard, you know. I thought it was Gerrard initially, you know.
Bad choice of cleats, you know.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
He's been quite poor, you know. Although he's scored a few, he's been involved and all that, but he's not playing with the same sort of intensity that he usually does. I think sometimes a lot of these players' performances can be masked by the performances of people around them. They need to look better. So I think once he gets into it and gets used to the other guy on the other side, Kulusevski, right? I think they will click soon enough. But the most important thing, he himself has to study and see how well he can upgrade his intensity, because he's been missing for the past 5 or 6 matches actually.
But actually,
maybe he needs an upgrade. He can join United.
I think you should, you know, sell. We would happily take him. He's one of those players that I would happily take. Son over Harry Kane any time of the day. This guy will do well in United. He will do well. In United.
There you go.
Definitely.
There you go.
Okay, I think, guys, we are at the end of the show. All right, thanks so much for being such a good sport. All right, on behalf of Manchester United, right, we would like to extend our appreciation to the rival panelists, right, and then we would like to offer you guys the chance of a lifetime to have the prize worth 80 million. All right, you can bring it back to your club, Harry Maguire. Any takers or not? Any takers? Free. And we were throwing maybe David De Gea or something.
No.
Can we have our money back? You know.
I believe Leicester is still laughing all the way to the bank.
Infinitely. So pleased.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, we are at the end of the show. Thanks so much again. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, thanks so much
My
for the
pleasure.
viewers and whatnot. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode. All right. Good night.
Thanks.
Okay, right. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.